Show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Spirit Medium, Laura Mediumship and Messages. Here you can enjoy healing to happiness with exceptional, evidential and ethical spirit communications. Spirit Medium Laura has been channeling spirit for over 30 years. She is a research medium and is featured as the top 100 psychic in America. Here is Spirit Medium Laura now.
Hi everybody, this is Laura. How are you doing today? Thank you for joining us. We have a full caller queue as usual. And I want to thank everybody who has called in. We always love to work, Spirit always loves to work with you. So thank you so much for calling in today. We do have a donation. Lena has made a donation. Thank you, Lena. That means that she will jump to the top of the queue after other side connections. I don't have any other side connections right now. If there's anybody that does want them, let Susie B know if she gets to you. That's fine, whatever it is. Spirit is spirit, right? We're not, the only thing is I like to do the other side connections at the beginning of the show because it's a different vibration. Okay, so one big announcement, well, a couple of announcements, but first of all, I need to say that there is a website for the show, and that is spiritmediumtv.com. That's spiritmediumtv.com. And there you can find a myriad of resources, one of which is a sale, a big sale. If you were to purchase an essential oil product, and I'll talk a little bit about essential oils in a moment, of a $25 value or greater, retail value or greater, or wholesale value or greater, if you were to purchase an essential oil product of $25 value or greater, you will obtain 15 minutes free of reading time with me, or a session time with me. Now, I don't only do just readings. I do mediumship, means connecting to the other side. I also do regular, psychic readings. But usually they have a deeper level to them of healing and that kind of a thing. I also help a lot with metaphysics and manifesting, which I think is probably the most important aspect of the service that I provide, is helping people heal and evolve to happiness by way of the soul, the essence of the soul. And so if you were to purchase an essential oil, you will get 15 minutes of time free with me. And if you just wanted 15 minutes with me and you bought the oil, you would get those 15 minutes free. So in other words, you don't have to order 30 minutes or anything like that. My minimum appointment is 15 minutes. So that's the first big announcement. You can get that by going to spiritmediumtv.com, and you'll see it at the top of the page, sale. Also, you can watch the video. You can watch the show live as a video. It's on that page. You'll see the video down the page. If you want a priority in the queue, besides making a donation, you can do so at item 3 where the video is. You can click on here, press here if you want to enter the webinar, and you will be given a priority in the queue behind anyone who's made a donation and other side connections. What else do I have to say? So many things to talk about. Join our mailing list. We'd love to have you in our family here, as you can keep apprised of all the changes and the wonderful resources and tools I send to you. One of the things I do is every week I send out a mailer, an email, a newsletter, and in there I have a featured or focused subject for the week, which correlates to the radio show. I'm trying to get organized, everybody. Anyway, this week's theme, if you will, is all about setting personal boundaries. Like a personal boundary worksheet is the name of the article that I send out in the newsletter, and I will talk about it here on the radio show. But I could change what I'm doing, and you'll know about it if you do join our mailing list as well. You'll get a lot of free gifts, including one of the free gifts is a free numerology report, which is specific for you. So join the mailing list. Just go to spiritmediumtv.com, and on the left you'll see how to do that. I'm just going to take a quick look there on that page, see if there's anything important. Oh yes, donation to jump the gate is there. That's item 2, and Lena's already done that. And there's just the agenda of what I do on the show, which I kind of already spoke about. So I do a lot of manifesting and healing work with clients. I do mentoring as well. But the essence of what I'm doing is, as my charter on Earth, my soul contract is about soul healing. And part of soul healing is mediumship, connecting with those who've transitioned. Because if we can speak to our loved ones in the spirit world and gain evidence from them, we know life continues. And that is very healing for us. We know that we are not finite, but we are infinite. And that is extremely healing. Movement away from fearfulness, as the ego is frightened of annihilation, to love, which is the soul. Another thing I do as a soul healer, if you will, is I can read your Akashic records very easily as a clairvoyant healer. I actually channel the same guide as John of God, the famed healer of Brazil. And I didn't know it when I started channeling St. Ignatius Loyola over 30 years ago. So that's an important item to understand. So when you're coming here for soul healing on many, many different levels. I'm also a medical medium. I'm also a certified health coach. I'm now getting certification in an essential oil technique, which is why I got into, I got into essential oils, and then I found this technique. And well, how did I find it, or why did I find it? Well, I was looking for a way to utilize essential oils in the healing steps Spirit had already given me. And some of you have heard me do that healing on the radio show, or you've done it one-on-one with me. I'll call it a clairvoyant healing, but it does incorporate seeing your energy systems in the body by looking through chakras and getting the gestalt, the energy of you, your blocks, and those are Akashic record level information. For me, the way Spirit works with me, and we're all different, your chakra is a window to your soul, and each chakra is X-raying you with a different theme. For example, the base or root chakra for me is looking at scarcity issues. And so if I were to look into your chakra, I would see what the issue is. So in any event, I was looking for a way to better do the healing. And one thing led to another thing, led to another thing, led to another thing. I guess it was intuition that led me to this aroma freedom technique. And in using it, I started to, become much more skilled as a healer. But I also was sort of like fascinated by these things called essential oils. Meaning the organic, therapeutic, grade essential oil, not any old oil. The oils that are tilled from the soil naturally. Now, what makes an oil so special? I don't know. I think I know now, but in the beginning I didn't know. But when you think about it, if you think about things the way I do as a metaphysician, part of the foundation of my understanding of the universe is that all things are constantly in concert with all other things. In other words, the universe is conscious. It's conscious, it's thinking, it's alive, and it's telepathically interacting with itself. So, for example, if you think about a plant, how does the seed know what to do when it goes into the soil? It just does what it's supposed to do. It's almost as if it has some kind of innate intelligence or programming that leads it forward to produce a plant. And when you think about that, think about it from a big picture, you realize that there's an intelligence that the seed is part of. And that we could say is our higher mind, or the higher mind, or superconscious mind of God, whatever you want to call that. Okay? And part of the journey of healing is to move from being fearful, which is our normal state as a human being. We're born into the world to experience separation from God. And the journey, the evolution, is to realign us. And every single person, you included, has created a big problem for yourself to grow through so that you can then realign with God. And that's my soul abundance course, and that's my soul abundance book, and that's my journey. My particular journey on earth was to formulate this idea and then to share it with others. It's not, but then once it came through to me, I realized, well, I'm not the only one talking about this. A Course in Miracles talks about part of this, and 12-step program for people who are addicted to things talks about this. Buddhism, mysticism, all kinds of different religions talk about this in their own way. I have a friend who's studying the Bible, and he just figured out how to move from fear to trust with God. Okay, so when you ingest a certified organic therapeutic grade essential oil from a plant, you are aligning with the vibration of a higher consciousness. Voila. And as Wayne Dyer put it, he's quoted as saying that the rose petal oil formula he was using, I'll tell you what that is in a moment, was God and is God in a bottle. God in a bottle. So a very simple way to look at essential oils is as if you are aligning with higher mind. You are aligning with higher mind. And so in using it, very unusual things are happening to me. Okay. Now, albeit I am using the aroma freedom technique on myself, which is allowing me to clear blocks. Okay. But I'm also having insight. I'm letting go of trauma much faster. On Sunday, I had a traumatic experience, and I was very upset, and I didn't really even know where it was coming from, this anger, this rage, this upset. And the only thing I could do to go back to feeling somewhat calm was run to my box of oils, because part of the healing thing I'm learning is how to release trauma, because that's where your blocks are. So I used some frankincense, I used some lavender, and I also used something called Stress Away. Stress Away. These are all from Young Living. I chose this, this company is the one that Aroma Freedom is working with, but it's also seems to have the most evolved product line, I guess is what I call it, most developed product line. And certainly is based on a lot of spiritual principles, which I also like. Gary Young, the founder of the company, actually has a whole kit on I don't know, there's something to do with essences of the Bible or something like that. So he's into all that. I'm not necessarily into the Bible per se, but I am into God, and I'm into good things. So anyway, I used the oils as I was going through trauma, and immediately felt relaxed and centered again. And so that, in a very short and very simple way, is describing the benefit to you if you decided to use an oil. And they've got, Young Living has oils of all sorts. And if you just simply use the oil that was aligned with what you need, for example, there's a vial of oil called Abundance. Let's say you need more abundance in your life. You can go for that blend. Okay. I just ordered Abundance, and I ordered Joy. If you're feeling depressed, Joy is the one to use. I wrote an article. It's on the website now, but if you're listening to this show in a future point in time, just go to spiritmediumtv.com, and you should search for the post, the blog post, Personal Boundaries Worksheet. And in that particular article, I talk about something that I stumbled upon, which ever since I've been doing this, it's like I'm so happy. It's like, you wouldn't even want to be around me. I'm too happy. But it may sound a little bit, shall we say, unintuitive. But as I was writing the article on personal boundaries, which was what Spirit was teaching me this week, on a whole new level. The first personal boundary we need to set is with ourselves. Okay? And so I personally was running around wanting to create things in my life and feeling very discouraged because I didn't feel, even with the best aroma freedom technique technology, I was not feeling it. I was feeling lost. So sometimes we might have a big goal, like how do I get out of debt? Or how do I meet my soulmate, right? And you've tried and you've tried and you've tried and nothing ever seems to work. Well, I think that the problem here is we didn't set a boundary with ourselves. We didn't set a boundary with ourselves. So I didn't go about trying to set a boundary, but what sort of channeled out of me is this following routine. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time going into it right now because we're already 15 minutes into the hour, and I do want to get to the phone lines, and I know many of you are waiting. But I'm going to just give you a very simple summary. If you're wanting something really, really big in life and you're getting discouraged, you're getting depressed, well, you can get yourself a nice therapeutic grade oil and sniff it like joy so you don't feel depressed. And you can also, which goes to the root of the problem, is do the exercise in this article, which basically says meditation, what it is that you really want, and then think about what you can do that's simple right now. Like, for example, you want to have love in your life, for example, and you keep trying to find love in your life. Why do you want love in your life? Well, because you're lonely. So you realize, well, the only thing I really have control over, I don't seem to have control over anything. I don't click with anyone. I'm looking and looking and looking. Well, I do have control over choosing to take up a hobby. Maybe I'll meet somebody during the hobby, but at least I'll be active doing something I like to do that's fun around people. And when you start choosing the little things, don't forget about the big things, they're there, but start choosing the little things, you raise your vibration. You become a little happier, you become a lot happier. And the more you give yourself what you need of the things you can give yourself, the more your vibration raises, the happier you become, and the more magnetic you become to attracting in the other things that are bigger. The universe works in concert with those that are happiest. The universe works in concert with those that are happiest. So get yourself an oil, get yourself 15 minutes free with me, and get yourself the Personal Boundaries worksheet, which is on my website. Maybe later on today or tomorrow, you'll have time to do that exercise. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is a group message, and then I will go to the phone lines. So everybody that's in the audience, if you would please help us create a morphic field, a psychic field. If you will, I will do a little channeling. So please, everyone that's listening, if you'd sit back, uncross your arms and legs, focus on breathing from your abdominal area. Letting go of any tension in the abdomen and anywhere else in your body on exhale. Asking for spirit to come in now on your inhale. If you're wanting an other side connection, please call in your loved one or loved ones now from the other side. If you are wanting a life question or healing or something else, please focus on that now. While you do that, I will do the prayer. I will be back in a second. And now on your next exhale of breath, if you would please release into the space around you your energy, I will connect us. One moment, please. Okay, we'll do a little channeled message and then we'll go to the phone lines. We are here. We are the ones that you speak to from time to time. We are of a higher plane and dimension. We come in as entities of the spirit realm. We ask that each of you forgive yourself today. Forgive yourself of something, for in forgiveness comes love, harmony, and healing. Each of you, we would like to ask to think right now of something that is bothering you about yourself. Behind that is an area of forgiveness. First, think of the thing that is bothering you. We will be silent for a moment. And now we would like you to think of what it is that you feel you have done wrong that has prevented you or that has attracted in this problem. We will be silent for a moment while you think of that. Good. And now we would like you to think of a time in your life where you did this particular thing. Remember the memory associated with the mistake. And as you remember the memory, an excellent way to clear it is to use an essential oil. Breathing it into the memory, it literally will release and let go of the charge, the emotional charge surrounding the memory, so that you can move forward in life, allowing yourself to realize what it is that you truly want without having to work so hard to get it. If you do not have an oil, you may also remember a scent of something that soothes you and makes you calm. So now we're going to ask you to think of the memory of when you made that mistake. And then while you're in the memory, we would also like you to imagine you're breathing in a scent, an aromatic fragrance that you find particularly soothing and relaxing. We will be silent for a moment while you do that. Good. This is the way to heal the heart. This is the way to release traumatic and blocking memories. We are happy to work with you today. Namaste. Okay, wonderful. Well, they made that into a whole new thing, which was very easy to remember and actually get. Thank you, Spirit, for that. Thank you, the ones, for that. Okay, I'm just going to double check to see what we've got in the queue, because things have been happening behind the scenes here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hey, Amanda, for just listening. Thanks for listening. Okay, we are going to go to donations. We have 2 donations. And I'm going to the first donation, which is Nina. And Nina has a live question. Hello, Lena. How are you?
Hi, Laura. How are you?
I'm great, love. So go ahead, honey, and just give me the question. Don't give me background, okay?
My one question is, the area that I'm living in right now, is that a good energy for me?
Okay, let's see what we get. Yeah, it's pretty good for you, actually. You don't need to fuss so much about the past. It will pass, and you will be able to head forward to the future very, very shortly without moving or without changing where you are. I'm going to give you more specific, and then I'll come back to you for validation. You are sort of, wherever you are has a past to it, okay? Past that you keep thinking about, okay? But there's a way for you to release that, and without, so you won't have to think about it so much. I'm going to see what it could be. You need to take a little bit of a trip, and that will help you release it. Okay, Lena, do you hear what I'm saying, honey?
Yeah, and actually, I am leaving tomorrow to go to Sedona.
Perfect. Perfect. And you're going to find when you come back, you will not need to move. If you don't want to move, that's another matter. You may want to move, but I don't think you're going to want to move. I think you're going to come home with a new lease on life.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to feel really good about yourself, energized. By the way, I'm going to Sedona in September, by the way. Not for not for the whole week. I'm going to Phoenix, and I'm going to take a little side trip there. But yeah, you're going to like, let me just give you a little more information about it. Your location is actually good for you. It feels like it is drier weather. Where do you live, love?
I'm on the west coast of Florida, Sarasota.
Oh, that's not dry. That's as wet as could be. Maybe I'm connecting to
Oh,
some.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm in Florida also. Let me just see why they're showing that. Well, there's something about where you are now that is good for you, and that you will feel differently when you come back. So let's see how it goes. But what I'm getting is the past will not haunt you because you're going to be clearing some stuff when you're in Sedona, and when you come back, you're going to feel really good. Now, you know, now that Laura knows where you're going, okay, I know you're going from Sarasota to Sedona. I'm thinking yummy Sedona, not so yummy Sarasota. You know, I mean, like, I kind of feel in the same way, like maybe, but that's the answer from spirit. The answer is that you're going to feel at home when you come back home. You're going to say, oh, this is my little, I feel snug like a bug in a rug in Sarasota. This is my place. This is where I belong, and the past will not be haunting you the way it is right now. Okay?
So the past is haunting me. Is that what's blocking everything for me?
Well, that's what they're saying. It's like memories. Oh, so you're having some blocks then, is what you're saying. Let me see what they want to say about that. Are you in real estate, honey?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we spoke before and you told me that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you like real estate very much and you're very, very good at it. And I'm seeing, for some reason, they're showing me like banners flying outside and promotions and all kinds of goody things you do. Pretty smart at what you are doing. Where is the block, Spirit? Because they're saying it's memories of the past. Probably memories of not being able to sell real estate. Let me just see if I can get specific. Were you living once in Key West? Are you that person?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. I remember reading for you when you were in Key West and then you moved up to Sarasota. But you're very good at what you do. There shouldn't be anything there blocking you. I'm going to see what the issue is. You know yourself very well. You're highly skilled in the work you do. You love the work you do. You feel you're helping people. You use your intuition when you're doing it. Everything has been working well for you up until the present time. In other words, you have a track record of success before this. Okay, so bottom line, I'm getting a feeling, I'm getting a message, it will pass, whatever the block is, and that when you get back from Sedona, you're going to feel very different about your life here, and you will have a healing there. So something's going to be lifted from you when you go to Sedona.
Okay.
Okay, and that's what it is. You will not want to live there in Sedona. Okay, this is what I'm getting. You will not feel comfortable there. You will not want to live there, but you will enjoy the visit very much. You will enjoy your home more when you return, and you will appreciate it more. And I believe that you have a child, an adult child there in Florida, and that's one of the reasons. Your family around you. You don't want to leave all of your family. I think you have a daughter in Sarasota. Is that correct, love?
I have two in St. Pete, which is 30 minutes up the road.
Yeah. And I kind of remember that from what we did before. I'm not this, I am good. I'm a very good psychic. I do get things like this for people, but just for the listeners, I'm not. Some of it is being remembered because of when we spoke before. Okay. So you're very good at what you do. Spirit wants you to understand that. You just need a break. And I'm not sure what the block is. It's going to be clear, but there will be a clearing for you in Sedona. It's about money and self-esteem issues. You will have a release and you will remove a block. And that will be, when you come back, that block will be relinquished and removed from you. So whatever goes on in Sedona, whatever you bring to Sedona is going to stay in Sedona. Whatever happens in Sedona stays in Sedona. And and your self-esteem and your block about money and finance, which is what it is, will be renewed or restored to you. And I believe that comes from a divorce that you had in the past. So so that's holding you back financially. There's a lot of self-esteem issues from that, a lot of sense of failure, a lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas, a lot of looking back and wondering what I did wrong, what I didn't do right, and it's holding, it's blocking you. It's also clouded your ability to see yourself well, the way you used to see yourself. And it wasn't that, it's a subtle thing. Okay, it's very subtle. And it's because you were the person who was codependent and passive aggressive. That person was passive aggressive and sapped your energy without you even knowing it was being sapped. Sapped your self-esteem without you even knowing it was being sapped. And that's why you're where you are right now. You know, on the surface, everything looks good. It's not obvious. Okay? But it's all there, and it will be removed from you when you go to Sedona. Okay, sweetheart?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, love. Take care.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, love.
Appreciate it.
Yes, bye-bye. Okay, and so now we're going to go to the next donation, which is Keisha. Hello, Keisha. Hello, Keisha. This is my Keisha in New York, by the way, but she must have stepped away from her phone for a moment, so we'll put her on hold, and we'll come back to her in a moment. The first person that did call in was Shiloh. Shiloh, go ahead, honey, and ask your question, love.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can, darling. Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to know what it is I'm either supposed to be learning or what needs to happen for me to completely move forward from the relationship that I just got out of.
Yeah, okay. So what's holding you there? Yeah. Okay, now I just want to say, and I probably should have said it before with Lena, is that sometimes knowing what the block is doesn't release it, just to see for your own edification. I'm learning that as I move forward with my own healing work, okay? And that's what led me to essential oils and through subconscious processes that will release things. So I just want to say that beforehand. And I don't know where Lena's going to be doing in Sedona or whatever, but the message was that she's going to go on a trip. When she comes back, she won't have that block anymore. So our blocks can be removed many different ways, but usually it's done under the conscious, at the subconscious level. And I have my own methodology, and there's many methodologies. Okay, let's go now to why Shiloh is still held in this situation. 480. See what Spirit wants to show me. Well, they're telling me you feel like you failed in some way, or you think you failed in some way. For some reason, there's not a lot of closure there, or feeling like you did something wrong or you weren't good enough. That's mostly it, weren't good enough. Weren't good enough to match the needs of this person. Now, give me the initials of that person, please. Just the first and last initial, please. All right, let me go to DR and see what's about that. What I get is another passive aggressive, kind of like the person likes you and makes you feel you didn't give him enough. That's what I'm getting here. Would that make sense, please, Shiloh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he likes you very much. You didn't give him enough. And so you sit here thinking to yourself, I thought I gave him enough. I gave him enough. I gave him everything. It's a very unsettling feeling. It's like you never really can, the way you are right now, you're in a state of cognitive dissonance is the word. In other words, you're thinking you gave him enough. You trust his vision or his opinion or the feeling he leaves in you. You're trusting the opinion, the feeling he's leaving in you of like, you didn't give enough. You didn't give enough. And it's hitting you on many different notes, like self-esteem issues, like maybe I don't ever give enough. Maybe I am not enough. Maybe I just wasn't nice. Maybe I was in a bad mood. You know, I get cranky sometimes. I don't know. What did I do wrong? But I really didn't want to be in that situation anymore. You see what I'm saying? All right. So let me just take a quick look at you energetically, and we'll see if we can release something in you. I just look at your chakras for a moment with your permission. I always need permission to do that because it's personal. I'm reading for you. It's a different service. I just want to make sure you're okay with that.
Sure.
All right. You're very smart, and your self-esteem is good, they say. It's just the second guessing. Where are we blocked, please? Well, there is a block at the throat level. And the block is a feeling like you feel right now, this is the thing I'm getting, is you feel that you don't communicate well your feelings, or sometimes you don't express, you're not good at expressing love, I guess is a simple way to say it. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do now is going to do a little healing. And part of it is going to be energy, and part of it will be a memory of an oil, unless you have some essential oil or a scent that you like. So before I do this, I just want you to think for a moment, what fragrance do you like? Like, for example, lavender, rose petal oil, sage, something that relaxes you. All right, good. So I want us now to go into the throat area. You go in with me. And we're going to color it a new vibration. We're going to open it. Just imagine you're just opening it up and you're sending in beautiful sky blue. And what we're doing is we're changing the vibration. And I want you to go into a memory of when you felt that you were not expressing love properly. It could be any memory. It doesn't have to be with this person. And while you're in the memory, I want you to breathe in the rose oil. Imagine you're breathing it in. Feel the calm coming over you in the memory. And now we're going to make an affirmation. The affirmation is, I am a clear communicator of love. Say it out loud, please.
I'm a clear communicator of love.
Yes. And that would be a very simple version of a healing for you. There's many other things we could do, but for now, that's a very good healing for you. And I'm going to anchor it with some white light, some green light, some pink light, and I'm going to add a little prayer on that. From this point forward, Shiloh is capable of expressing all her loving feelings. She is open-hearted, and she is clearly expressing her love. She is a gifted and total thinker, knower, feeler. She is able to express everything she needs to express in the right way at the right time. Her own blocks to love are now released and relinquished, and she is a full channel, a fully expressive channel of love every day in every way in her life and in her communication to the lives of others. Namaste. You can listen to this a few more times, since it's being recorded, and get the benefit a few more times. Okay, Charlotte?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, love. God bless. Okay, I believe I have to go now to the donation, and then I will go to Trudy, who I know is dying to get through here. I haven't forgotten about you, sweetheart, but I do take the donations first because that's the rule. Keisha, are you there? Keisha. Okay, going to Trudy. There she is. Hello, beautiful Trudy. What can I do for you? What's your question for today?
Well, I'm still having problems with my daughter. I emailed her, texted her, she blocked my phone, so I can't get through her. And it's really hurting me because she got lost the whole my phone.
Oh, of course. Oh. Oh. Okay, now, hold on for Trudy, love. Well, I just wanted, I prefer not to get the whole story because then you influence me, but I didn't want to interrupt you because you're going through a very hard time. Okay, sweetheart, let's see what we can get for you. Should you forgive him and forget? Now, you already told me that you don't want anybody who has no money or who's going to rely on you financially. You don't want a problem coming to you. Okay, I'm going to, let's talk, okay? Let's have a heart-to-heart here. You know, everything that happens to us is for our growth. Okay? You know, the loss of your son is... No, that's fine, love. I'm going to make that simple. Basically, every problem that you have is there for growth. Everybody's problems are there for growth. So the first thing I want to suggest, besides just telling you whether or not you should forgive him, which the answer is always yes. We always forgive people. But I think what you're asking me, can you rely on him for solid companionship? So give me the initials of his name, and I will get right to the heart of the matter. Go ahead, honey. Give me the initials of his name. S as in Sam, G as in good. All right. Harry, H-G, H-G. Well, he is very needy. He does need to be around someone right now also. Emotionally, he's needy. You know, money withstanding, I'm not saying he's needy financially. That's not a problem. I mean, he may not have money, but you don't have to give him money because I think that you need somebody too right now. So what it is two people who are lonely, who can be around each other and have some companionship. Let me see about the trusting. Hold on. Can you trust him again? Because they do the same thing again, hurt you terribly, and you really shouldn't be banged around like that. You know, nobody can handle it after all the losses you've had. Let me just see something here. Well, I get he will not disappoint you again. He really does need to have companionship. He's forgiven himself for what he did for you, and he wishes that you would forgive him. I would suggest that you pursue with caution in a less needy way. In other words, take what's good and leave the rest. That's the philosophy behind Codependence Anonymous, which is the philosophy of healthy relationships. The philosophy of healthy relationships is always to take what's good. You're lonely, he's lonely. Enjoy the companionship, but be the cause of your own happiness always. Be the cause of your own happiness always. At the beginning of the show, I talked a little bit about personal boundaries and how we can become the cause of our own happiness, which you've done very good at. You know, you've tried to create a life for yourself, and you will continue to do that. And people do like you, Trudy, and you do have friends, and you do have companionship. So proceed with caution, and also proceed with an understanding that you and he both could use some companionship. So if you look at it like that, I don't think you can go wrong. And I feel that he will not hurt you if you look at it like that. Okay? Okay, now I want you to know there are rules on the show. I have to have rules, otherwise I wouldn't have a show. But I will, just as a courtesy to you and my empathy for your situation, take a quick look at it. Everybody has to follow the same rules, so I can't give you favoritism. But all right, I think they could be helpful to you. Now, give me the initials of the new person. Okay, and your question is, will it work out or will you like him? Hold on. Will she? Yes. Oh, no, this is Trudy. Well, he's like you in many, many ways. You will get along well, but I don't feel there'll be much chemistry. Okay, sweetheart, make the best of it. Love you too, honey. You too, honey. Bye-bye. Bye, love. Okay, yeah, I just wanted everybody to know I'm not trying to give her favoritism, but literally she lost her son, and now her daughter doesn't talk to her, and she's a very lovely woman, so I try to help in any way that I can. Okay, I'm going to go to Laura now, who's waiting for quite a long time, and she has a question about. Go ahead, Laura, and give me the question, love, and don't give me background, okay? All right. Oh, okay. Okay, now please forgive me, but I'm going to talk about an essential oil as well, because some of the biggest life problems, which I'm discovering now to my amazement, I would have never believed this if I hadn't experienced it myself. If you find the right essential oil blend that has to do with emotional quality you want, if you diffuse it in your home, you literally will have that quality. So the first thing that's coming to mind is the Young Living essential oil called Valor, V-A-L-O-R, which is for strength and courage and feeling good about yourself. There's also the one in the article on personal boundaries, which is called, what is that one called? It's Sacred Mountain, which basically, and then I'll give you more information, promotes feelings of strength, empowerment, grounding, and protection. And they literally make you feel those ways. I would have never believed it, except I've experienced it for myself. And I'm working with a PhD in psychology where I'm getting the certification, and he's using oils therapeutically. So now her name is Kelly. She's in a new school, and we're going to go now to other things we can do besides that. Let me see. I'm using your area code as a way to vibrationally connect with you, sweetheart. 720 Laura. Okay. All right. Hold on for a second. 720. You're a very loving person, very kind person, very altruistic person. You're giving a lot to others these days. You're involved in a lot of charity work. People love you. What about her daughter, Kelly, please? Okay. Okay, so they're starting to talk about, one of the things I see is she's alone in her room at night. There's something about that? She's an only child, or she just has her own room, or what does that mean to you? Okay, and she's alone in her room at night, and she doesn't like the feeling. Even the sleeping alone somehow makes her feel very isolated, afraid, and alone. I see her bed. I see a doll on a chair over there in the room. You know, she's a very cute little girl, beautiful child. But this idea of singularity is built into her matrix, if you will, meaning her lifestyle. So being alone is something that we need to fix somehow. There's a thinking about being alone or thinking about being lonely versus being connected. Do you live in a neighbor? Let me just see something before I ask you the question. Laura 720. Kelly is the daughter. No, not necessarily. So do you integrate her into the neighborhood at all? Does she have friends? Because I don't see a lot of friends around her. Okay. Oh, okay. And she's frightened of going into the school. So, oh, geez. Is there any way that you can introduce her to some people that will be in the school? Some kids that will, maybe some mothers, you make friends with them beforehand, make friends, go to lunch, or this way you can bridge it. No, it does. That's why she's isolated, you see. She's isolated. And it's interesting how the location of being in the hotel room and all that is making her feel less connected. It's a simple thing. You know, it's a very simple thing. That's what they're showing me. So I would suggest if you can try to find some like some women there that have children, get in touch with maybe some of the mothers, and maybe ask if there can be some kind of activity outside of school together that would make her feel more bonded with people. It might help a little bit. That's what I'm getting mostly for her, aside from the other thing which could help as well, the oils. Does that make sense to you, Laura? Does that resonate for you? That's the main thing that's coming in is friendship, and that if you can bridge the gap, because you're the mom, you know, you're older, you've got the adult skills, if you will, this will help her feel like she's got some friends in the school, and I think that will go a long way. Is there anything else, Spirit? You said that she's already in the school. You're in a hotel that's outside the neighborhood of the school. Hold on. Let me see something else. Does your daughter do any kind of dance or acrobatics or something? Cheerleading. Oh, that's good. That's good. She's already in it. Okay, so it's the same thing again. There somehow needs to be some kind of, but is she like, how old is she? 14? She's 13? All right. Well, she's kind of old for you to kind of do that. You know, I was thinking she was younger. 13. Yeah, I'm just saying she's old. It's kind of odd for you as a mother to try to make friends for her at 13, right? Yeah, she's old enough to do that now, so it's very awkward. So awkward age, awkward time. She is involved in some extracurricular activities. Okay, so now I'm going to go a little different now. Hold on for a second. Let me see what she looks like. She looks pretty good for her age. She's beautiful. She's smart, good looking, insecure about herself. Oh, okay. So what I would say, she just has a lot of sensitivity. She's a little harsh in judging herself. You know, teenagers usually are. You know what I mean? They blow everything out of proportion. Yeah. It's almost like she's got a body dysmorphia or something. Like, oh, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not this enough. I'm not that enough. I'm not this. Right, but she's beautiful. So I would suggest when you get in situations like this that are not rational, I would definitely suggest an essential oil. And if you would like to consult with me, you can get 15 minutes free and we can do that together in more detail. But that's what I would definitely suggest for her because it's not rational. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, she'll get friends eventually. Let me just go through that. Wow. Looks like she's going to get a boyfriend before she gets a lot of girlfriends. That's not good. Well, that's not good because, you know, like it's an easy way out. In other words, you know what I mean? In 3 months, I see a young man with her and that he's going to make her feel good because he's going to pay attention to her. And she will ignore the issue of making friends. So she needs to be developed on a self-esteem issue, basically. And that's what it's all about. She needs to be developed. I don't want to say there's anything wrong with her because she just has a lot of insecurity about herself as a human being. And it's not a rational thing. It's just the way she's constructed. In other words, nobody's beaten her up. Nobody's mistreated her. She just is overly critical of herself and is very insecure as a person. So that's what I'm picking up for her. And I've given you as much as I can give you on the subject, Laura. Okay? I see some friendship with girls, but the thing that clicks is some young man is going to pay attention to her, and she's going to become his girlfriend or something, and it's not going to take that long, and it's going to make her feel comfortable, but it's not going to allow her to fully integrate because it's only going to be with him. You see what I'm saying? And at her age, at 13, that's not healthy, you know? Right. So you need to work on her self-esteem somehow, feeling good about herself, and try to do anything you can to integrate her into the community, maybe through some kind of activities that you think of. I know she's kind of old for that. You know, she probably doesn't want mom around much, but that's the best I can do.
Thank you.
You're welcome, love. Bye-bye. Okay. Now going to go to, I'm going to have to go to Keisha again because she did make a donation. She's been absent. Keisha, can you hear me? I'm good, sweetheart. Go ahead, honey. Give me just your question. No background, love. Okay. Aren't you the lawyer? The one that just passed the bar and everything? Okay. You did pass the bar. See? All right. Oh, okay. All right. Hold on for a second. Good for you taking the bar. Very difficult. Everybody, she's gone to law school in New York, and she's just taken the bar. Yay for Keisha. Yay. Okay. Well, I do see a job coming in. I see it in the fall, September, October. And it feels like, for some reason or other, there's human rights and behind this, and there's also something to do with immigration. So I don't know what you're interested in, but there's something to do with human rights in particular that's going to be part of what you're doing. What are you interested in, Keisha? Well, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing it like an employment of if somebody wasn't treated fairly. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Okay, and particularly for women in the workplace. So we'll see where this goes. Any kind of discrimination in the workplace, I see you getting something to do with that. And that you're going to like it very much. It'll give you a cause. It's not going to be the only thing that you work at in your career. There will be a variety of different things over time. Okay, I'm going to just see if I can see finally where you end up, because you will have some kind of direction. I also see you might want to, even though they don't pay very well, get into the DA's office, because that will launch your career for you. Well, there you go. And that's that I think is gonna be that's the human rights thing too. And that, you know, that's always about human rights. It's all kinds of things. But human rights in particular, it's a start. It's looking out for the look. It's a good start, a great start, because you got stardom behind you. They have all kinds of things you could get involved with, but it's definitely justice, and that's what it's going to be. It's not, why are they saying that? It's not criminal law. Oh, really? But that's what the DA's office does. No, it's going to be something to do with equal rights or something like that, but within the DA's office. So look for it, honey. Let's see where it goes, darling. Bye-bye. I have to go now. You're welcome. Bye-bye, honey. Bye. Okay, I'm going to go to Susie B, who has been waiting very patiently. Susie B, fire your question at me.
Thank you for answering me.
Yes, and go ahead, fire your question.
Okay, I'd like to see
Okay. Yeah, I do see it. I do see it. And I see it. I don't know if it's because you said on some part of the trip, but I do see that he might be joining you in the middle, a little bit past the middle of the trip. Like if you're going to be there for a whole week, he'd be there like the 4th day, 4th, 5th day, something like that. So a little bit after the middle of the trip, and only for a day or two. And he would like it very much, actually. He'll like it up there. He's never been there before. He's gonna talk. Yeah. All right, sweetheart. Thank you so much, love. Thank you. We'll be back. Okay, I wanted to see something in the chat room. We got Texas Pearl asking me if I'm able to get her mom, Sue, to come through. Aren't you the cutest thing in the world, Texas Pearl? Texas Pearl. All right, let's see what we get here. I don't do mediumship via the chat room, but I will just do a quick look-see, Texas Pearl, if you're still there. And I will stay on the show a little longer today. For some reason or other, I'm in the mood, and I don't have to run anywhere. So let's see what we do here. I don't know if I can get all 8 calls unless some people are just listening because it's too many people. But Texas Sue and her mom is Texas Pearl. Her mom is Sue. Hold on, Texas Pearl. Well, I see a woman that is more of an average build. She's slender. She's not overweight. Would you agree that Mom, Texas Pearl, was a slender person? Please, at least as you remember her. I just need an answer, Texas Pearl. If you're not answering me, I'll move on to caller. Okay, we're going to move to another caller, and I'm going to go by who's waiting longest in the queue, and we have a lot of people that have waited a long, long time. I will not be able to get to everyone. I will do the 2 that are waiting longer than 40 minutes. Candy? Candy, sweetheart? Hello, sweetheart. Just give me, hello, love. Just give me your question, love. Now, let me look at the health thing first, and I think we'll make a question of will you recuperate enough to take the opportunity? And yeah, 4401. That's a sad story, Candy, but we're going to make lemonade from lemons. Hold on. Yes, you will recuperate. You will recuperate very, very well, and you should take the opportunity and not let it slip through your fingers. And as a matter of fact, taking the opportunity will help you recuperate because it will make you feel more optimistic. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You'll feel constructive. You'll feel employed. You'll feel engaged in life. And a whole new world is going to be opening up for you and beginning. And this optimism that the opportunity gives you, the sense of empowerment, will help you overcome the fatigue and the sorrow you feel over the illness that you have, which will not last very long, by the way, because you are taking the right steps nutritionally and therapeutically to get over this. You're welcome, honey. God bless. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to go to Tim, and he's been waiting very, very long time. Hello, Tim. How are you doing, honey? Tim? Hi, honey. Can you please give me your question, love? Sure. What is your question, love? So what you're asking me, first of all, I got to say, you got to focus, Tim. You have my mind all over the room. Maybe Spirit can help you focus. And you might want to get an essential oil called Focus or Clarity or something. There are oils like that to help you focus. So let me just see now. Tim, and he's calling from 917, and he wants to know, well, I'm gonna ask it, what should you focus on? Because right now you're kind of all over the place, all right? Hold on, Tim, 917. Focus right now on loving yourself. And that doesn't mean not looking for a job, but they're starting with the foundation of self-love. And they don't mean narcissism. They mean like taking care of yourself, being kind to yourself, listening to yourself, forgiving yourself, and getting over the past. They said, as you sort of say, well, you know, I made some mistakes. Okay, it doesn't mean that the future is going to always be the way the past was. And I'm a good guy. Okay? As soon as you start to do that, you're going to start to feel more focused. Okay? Because right now, it's like you're being split in pieces, looking back, looking forward, looking right, looking left. It's like you're very unsettled inside. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So a good, healthy dose of self-love will do you wonders. And self-love means on a day-to-day basis, taking inventory of how you feel and then taking little steps to address what you need, you know, not ignoring yourself. And that's going to be the way you move forward. So literally sit down every day, maybe do some journaling, you know, like a diary. How do I feel today? What do I really need today? And then doing something about that. And as I said earlier, it's the little things. Don't worry about the big thing. When you start doing the little things, the big things sort of work their way through. You will be getting a job and you will like it very much. And one of the issues that you've had is fun. You need to have fun at what you do. And that has held you back, okay? Because everything that you have done in the past wasn't really a lot of fun. So do what I just said. Work on making yourself happy on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. And before you know it, you're going to be attracting a new work that you're going to like very much. A kinder, gentler sort of work that has nothing to do with living up to the expectations of others, but has more to do with fulfilling you, your potential, and who you really are. And I see you almost in an entertainment capacity with younger people around you. Now, how that plays out, I won't say exactly, but I see you almost like a, if I'm going to give you a job, it might be like a teacher in elementary school, or it might be as an entertainer to children, or it might be working in an amusement park. But there's something entertaining about what you're going to do. It's going to be fun, it's going to be carefree, and you're going to like it very much. And you don't need to worry about the past anymore. It's behind you. And it's important you do not look back because it's affecting your ability to move forward. Okay, Tim? I hope that makes sense to you, honey. All right. Thank you, love. You have a beautiful day, honey. God bless. Okay, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. If you would like to join us on Monday at 7 p.m., we'll be doing this all over again. And meanwhile, if you'd like to book an appointment with me, I'm now giving away 15 minutes free with the purchase of an essential oil. Just go to spiritmediumtv.com, and at the top of that page, you'll see the word sale, and there you'll be able to get that opportunity. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Blog Talk Radio. Bye-bye.